Diagnosed with Aniridia until I was about 18 months old. And it came around because my grandparents said, he's not following me at all. They basically came to the conclusion that I had Aniridia on the basis that I had no iris at all. But they said the condition wasn't going to get worse, wasn't going to get any better, that was how it was and everything. They didn't do much. I had to go weekly to get scans on my kidneys until I was 5 years old, which had to be under the RAF hospitals, and we were based out in Germany. I did get offered a place here when I was free, but the RAF said that the only way I could come was they would no longer treat me for any medical ailment whatsoever. So unfortunately I stayed under the RAF doctors. Everything was stable. I of course struggled at school because I was at mainstream school, so I couldn't see the board. People didn't quite understand that even if you were sat at the front of the class you still couldn't see the board, and they couldn't understand that even though you could read print, you couldn't read handwritten print, so joint up handwriting. Didn't understand that whatsoever. So my mum had to do an awful lot of fighting for different things, and I wasn't actually registered till I was about 10, and I got registered as blind. My mum took me to Specsavers, where I saw a very nice Australian doctor, optician, who was trained out in Australia, and we came up with lots of different things that me and my mum had never heard of. He put coloured contact lenses on me, which my mum burst into tears at me, and so I thought I won't do that ever again. But he basically said I needed to be referred here, which I was. But I wasn't referred to Moorfields in London, I was referred to the Moorfields outreach team. Is that what they're called?
I think, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so they go out to the communities and see patients in the communities. Unfortunately, the doctor knew nothing about Aniridia, and he gave me some eye drops, and I had a bit of a bad reaction to it, and basically my eyes went bright red, really sore. My mum told me to start taking the eye drops. We went back to see him, and he basically said that was normal. So with neither of us being medical, and my stepdad wasn't medical, we thought, okay then, that's fine. So we carried on taking them, and then it wasn't until a month later that he went, oh. And all of a sudden I was referred here as an emergency and put under Prof Core. Now, I love Prof Core. I will sing his praises till the cows come home, because at the age of 13, where you've had doctors see you, poke you, prod you, scratch their heads and make out that they know what they're dealing with, but they don't, it's an emotional roller coaster. And after 25 years of coming here, I can count my good appointments on 2 hands. And I spent 4 years coming every 3 weeks. So it's a lot of appointments here. He has never given up, even when he's been frustrated. I think he's done something like 23 operations on me, which unfortunately the last one was to remove my right eye, because, so I was told, due to the drops basically started off stem cell failure, so the cells died, didn't regenerate, they just scarred. But before he could deal with that, I had cataracts that hadn't been removed, which was really bad. So we had to remove my cataracts, both eyes, and put man-made lenses in. But apparently I don't have all the little bits that hold it in place. Something like that. I'm not too sure on that. He explained it like a trampoline that didn't have all the springs. So as you bounced on it, you went sideways. Terminology. And then I of course had glaucoma, and that hadn't been treated for 3 years. By that time it had already done 85% damage to my optic nerve, which he did. So I've had 3 tubes. He's gone in and cleared 1 tube out, taken the little thread out, pipe cleaner as he called it, which I can just imagine. He's tied them closed, he's opened them, he's done all sorts of things with them, and unfortunately it just didn't work. The last tube he put into my right eye, it was at about 40, and then next morning it went to 0. He then saw me every week over Christmas to pop my eye back up, which I love telling people because it grosses everybody out. Being the patient having it done to yourself, you don't know what it probably looks like, but when you explain it to people, they go, oh. So yeah, he did that, and he managed to get it so he got to 9, and then it just kept collapsing. So I then was a bit unbalanced. I had one that was at 30, one that was never higher than 10. I also still got a lot of pain. The only way I could describe it was it's like blinking over sandpaper, the really rough sandpaper. And I argued with him several years, I can't deal with this pain, just remove them. And then he kept saying, because I could see the light, the melatonin chemical, he wasn't going to remove them. But then, unfortunately, I had my daughter. I fell pregnant with my daughter, which she is my little blessing, because I was told I couldn't get pregnant. My hormones were haywire. And then I found out I was 9 weeks pregnant. I thought I had a tummy bug. It came as a bit of a shock. She then tried to come at 21 weeks, 29 weeks, 30 weeks, 31 weeks. She was a bit too eager. And then she was actually born at 39 weeks. They managed to hold her off till then. She actually has my condition. But due to me being pregnant, I couldn't take glaucoma medication. So they did laser treatment on me 4 times. Sophie, my daughter, was very nice and calm when they gave me the sedatives. I wasn't, she was. And I think the last laser treatment I had was 2 weeks before I had my elective C-section. So I had extra staff in the room, and basically one of them, his job was to have his hand on my stomach, waiting just in case any contractions happened or anything like that. Luckily, no, because they were all thinking of when was the last time they all delivered a baby. It was like 10 years prior, so I was a little bit nervous about that one as well. Since I've lost all of my vision, my right eye is a fake eye, which when I walked through the doors, my mum went, wow, when you have the other eye done? But that was after, when I had the eye removed, I'm prone to infections for some unknown reason. So every operation I've ended up with an infection afterwards. The week after I had my eye removed, I had swelling issues. Basically my eye was outside of the eye socket rather than inside the socket. And my daughter was due to start school the next day. So I wasn't staying. So I basically had them pinning me in the corner with a lens to try and push it all back in and put the lens in and bandage it all up until I could come down the next week. My mum fainted, which everyone thought was hilarious. That held that in, but then I got a flesh-eating bug. I just thought I kept catching a lot of sleep. And it wasn't until I went to the GP and they took a swab. First time ever I've had a swab taken and they've called me back in the same day. It was a bit panicky when they said, you need to get this. So I was on penicillin tablets, penicillin eye drops, penicillin ointment. If they could get any penicillin in any other way, I think they would have. So I was quite poorly with that. Luckily that all cleared up. The white muscle is quite thin apparently, so you can actually see the implant behind, which people find actually quite interesting. I don't know why, but yes. I find it more interesting that I still have the nystagmus in that eye, which I didn't think I would, but I do. So that's quite interesting. I have to say, with regards to my daughter having a condition, today, technology-wise, so much more better. Apple are godsend. You know, my sister's able to access her education a hell of a lot more than I can. And as such, she's ahead of me of where I was. There's also the teachers for the visually impaired, which are also brilliant. They weren't around when I went through school. Because I think society when I went through school, it was, ooh, she's blind, brain doesn't work, lock her away, lock her away. So everything's so much more better for her. She does cooking lessons, she does dancing, drama, all sorts. I did actually ask my daughter this morning what she wanted me to tell you about what her eyesight's like. And bless her, she went, it's blurry when my eyes wobble. And I find it a little bit difficult reading when they wobble really a lot. But it's okay because I sleep and then they don't wobble as much. It just looks brilliant as a 6-year-old to do that way. I don't feel it, my eyesight really affects me a huge lot on a day-to-day basis. What I do find is with having the condition, and neither of my parents have it, my sister doesn't have it, we've traced my family tree back, it doesn't appear anywhere. Basically, it's my fault I got it, I didn't copy the genes correctly. Sounds about right for me. But I like the fact there's a lot more research going in, because I have a lot of other issues along with it. So I have prolapse discs in my spine, I get really bad headaches, memory loss, sugar problems, hormones and everything. So I've gone in early menopause due to all of that. I don't release enough prolactin. I suffer with depression, anxiety, and really a whole long list. I have fibromyalgia, so pain senses. I've just gained a hearing difficulty. I seem to collect them. It's my newfound job, collecting conditions. And the whole time they say it should be this. We think it's this, but the test says no. So I fall asleep really easily. So I'm on melatonin to help me sleep at night. I'm on modafinil to keep me awake during the day. Doesn't always work. Most of the time it does, but it doesn't always. And I like the fact that research has been taking more in further, but it'd be nice to see how, if you've got a complete deletion like I have, how that then affects all the other genes, which will affect the rest of the body, because it must be all linked. One gene must link into all the others, surely, I believe. And I like the fact that since 84, where they went, what's a gene? What are we looking for? To, there's a PAX6 gene that causes that, but what does it do? To now being able to take a blood test and be able to see if you're going to have Wilms tumours or something like that coming alongside Aniridia. I don't know what else anybody else wants to ask me. I feel like I've waffled on a lot.
No, you haven't. That's been fantastic. Really lovely to hear from your perspective what it's actually like living with the condition. I love the thought of you giving the ophthalmologists their run for their money with thinking you're going to go into early labour. I think that would keep them on their toes. I really like that.
My daughter seems to have that knack as well, because I call him the prof, she calls him the knight.
Okay.
The knight. So it's like the princess is going to see the knight. But she likes the fact that she gets stickers. She's got a little book that each time she comes, she gets a sticker and it goes into the book and say which clinic it's come from, because she sees about 4. And she once saw prof and he's doing the a sticker. And she went, I normally get a sticker for being good. And he went, oh, hang on a minute. And he didn't have any stickers in his drawer. So she said, well, can you find me one then, please? So she made this professor walk around the whole clinic with her in tow, she wasn't letting him off of it, to find a sticker for her. And then when they couldn't find a sticker, he went to reception and told them to, and they handed her a whole sheet of stickers. And she thought it was brilliant that she got this whole sheet of stickers. So yes.
Fantastic. Oh, thank you. Does anyone have any specific questions at the moment for Georgina? Or, I mean, they may come out naturally as we move through the day and have more interactive sessions later on this afternoon. Oh, one question.
I was just wondering, when you first, when you were a child, what level of vision did you have then, or has it always been very little?
When I was a child, I had slightly better than my daughter's is now. So mine was 8/46. And my print size was 24. My daughter's at the moment, she's 6, hers is 6/48, and her font size is 48, which is why she's learning Braille. Yeah. Can you imagine the paperback with 48 print? So, yeah.
Thank you ever so much,
Georgina.
Fine. Yeah.